I adore almost every iteration of Scooby-Doo out there, no matter how different they all are. It's comfortable and cute and consistently funny in a very charming way. Which makes it strange to say that by far my favorite iteration, Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated, isn't very comfortable at all and deviates from the tried and true formula significantly. It's what made for some of the best television out there, and what ultimately doomed its ending. Let's take a dive. Mystery Incorporated seems on the surface to be pretty similar to the other Scooby-Doo shows at first, though there are one or two notable changes. They live in one place, Crystal Cove, instead of traveling the world in the Mystery Machine, and Fred is the new best character. They really play up how much of a goofball he is and how obsessed he is with traps. It's hysterical.
Yep, they're so beautiful.
The girls?
No, the nets.
Nets?
I wonder what their tensile strength is.
But then, at the end of the first episode, Daphne finds a locket in the caves under the town that contains a picture of the original Mystery Kids from 30 years ago who have gone missing. They slowly discover that this has all happened before, as the mysterious Mr. E provides them with a trail of clues that lead them to the pieces of a planispheric disk they must complete. What? This is good television! Also, there's this evil bird, Professor Pericles, who was a member of the original Mystery Kids, who's also trying to get his claws on the treasure beneath the town. The clues the show spoon feeds to you each episode is so very welcome and creates a sense of intrigue and tension that is somehow missing from any other show in this mystery series. It turns it from a totally comfortable episodic watch to a kind that specializes in sort of cliffhangers and gets the audience to come back each week. The scavenger hunt quest worked in Gravity Falls and it works here. I won't spoil the middle portion of the show because it's just so good and I really recommend you watch it. Especially that season 1 finale, my god. It's also just really funny, with a robust cast of side characters, especially the sheriff and the mayor and the sheriff and especially the sheriff. What's more, the characters are all well developed, instead of that thing a lot of Scooby shows do, where they kind of leave Daphne or someone else, but usually Daphne, in the dust. But as much as I hate to admit it, because I really do, there is a reason Scooby shows don't usually do this kind of serialization, and it's because, like this show, it's an easy trap to fall into. So I will be putting up the spoiler warning for the last couple of episodes of this show. Okay, and now I have to say it. The show jumped the shark. More than that, they jumped the whale, the ocean, everything. They jumped the everything, and this prevented them from having a solid ending. As soon as they started killing off characters, I realized they might be screwed. And when Fred's parents got plastic surgery to look like Fred and Daphne, that's just messed up, and not in a fun way. The final monster fight just felt sort of sad, seeing everyone slowly die only for them to reverse it in pretty much the only way they could, alternate reality. I do think the mystery of the monster beneath Crystal Cove is satisfying, and I love seeing all the Mystery Incorporated groups through the ages. But I could do without the monster being the reason everyone's evil and dresses up in costumes to complete their evil schemes in the town. It just felt a little universe-breaking. No, they did that because that's how people commit crimes. Let me have my fun. Just really felt like they wrote themselves into a corner and Deus Ex Machina'd their way out because they had no other option, which isn't satisfying. And then the gang leaves their new happy lives because A, they don't really know these people, and B, they need more mysteries to solve. I'll say it again, I love serialized stories that slowly up the ante throughout the story. But if you take your characters and push them into situations that are so radically different from the status quo, then it stops being cool and just feels unbelievable. If my campy story about a group of teenagers and their dog solving mysteries turns into a giant kaiju fight for the fate of the world, my eyes kind of glaze over. It stops feeling like Scooby-Doo and pulls me out of the scene. A show like Gravity Falls can pull off the bonkers finale because that show was built around crazy anomalies and monsters, but there aren't meant to be any real monsters in the Scoobyverse. You can't let your stories get away from you, no matter how alluring the concept of a serious overarching story may be. Look, I still love Mystery Incorporated, but there's a reason why on my rewatches I tend to stop a couple of episodes into season 2. It just breaks everything, which sucks, because if it had ended a little bit better, it could have been one of my favorite shows, period. It still kind of is, but there's an asterisk. I can't say that. I just feel like there's a way to have a serious, overarching mystery without writing yourself into a corner. But unfortunately, that's what Mystery Incorporated did. Let me know what you think.
Oh, my name isn't Scooby. Dooby Doo!